Hey, let's talk about Anthony Santander today. If you don't know who he is, he's a dynamic young outfielder from the Baltimore Orioles. And he's actually under control until 2025. And he's an outfielder. He can play multiple positions. And he's a relatively productive bat as well. So, but it's just not... The Orioles have already made it clear that they're willing to move almost everybody. And he seems to be a guy that can extract probably one of the bigger packages in return. So I want to talk about the four most probably likely or realistic fits for him at the trading deadline in 2021. And because of multiple things, need and market and so on and so forth, and prospect package and ability to give them what they want. Number one is the Chicago White Sox. They need another guy who can play the corner positions. They've had a lot of injuries with their young outfielders, and he represents versatility. He's in with the lineup and in the field, and he's also a switch hitter. So it allows them to construct their lineups in a little bit more creative manner. And I think he would be a logical fit with the White Sox so that they don't have to rush these guys back, but also gives them versatility when they do come back. And again, gives them a dynamic hitter, takes him away from other American League teams who would likely go after him as well, but also helps kind of the White Sox, I think, in their quest to make the World Series this year and moving forward in the next couple of years. And to me, he would be a good fit with the White Sox, and they have the capital to give the Orioles what they need to get him. So the next team would have to pay more of a premium would be the New York Yankees because they're in division, but they've made deals recently. They've got Zach Britton for him in return for some prospects from the Orioles. So they have done business before. They've got a good working relationship. It would cost them a decent amount, but again, they're getting hardly any production from their outfielders this year. Not much, so with the exception of Judge, but there's so much underwhelming performances from the offense this year, particularly a lot all over the place actually. But the cost would be worth, and I think the Yankees would be well off to bring in a switch hitter. I've mentioned Ketel Marte and some other guys. This is another guy that represents an upgrade and gives them versatility and also allows them to construct lineups in different ways and be creative and give other guys off days and stuff. And he's young. 26 or 20, I think he's 26 years old. So it gives them youth, gives them versatility with a switch hitter. And gives them good contact hitting. They have too many guys that are reliant on the home run with violent swings who cannot stay healthy. We need guys who can stay healthy here. So a guy like this gives them a more dynamic player, gives them a more athletic player to help kind of make that lineup better, in my opinion, and make it more versatile, which I think the Yankees are sorely needing and sorely lacking. So Yankees are the second fit for me. The third fit is the Cleveland Indians. They also need more production for the outfield positions, and a lot more productivity. Actually, to be honest with you, I was hoping that Jock Peterson was going to go there because I thought he was a good fit, but it didn't happen. He went to the Cubs, but that's okay. But this guy's an underrated target for me for a lot of teams. He's one of these guys that's not a sexy name, but I think a team that picks him up will be really, really happy with the production they get back from him over the next couple of years. He'll be a valuable piece to teams who didn't think they would be valuable teams. And I think if he goes to this team, these other teams in the division are going to regret not going after him. He's that type of guy, in my opinion. And again, he can stick it to a lot of teams, even in his own division. So he seems to me he's a logical fit for the Indians, who need more offensive pop, need more offensive consistency to complement that really, really good, 1-2 punch in a starting rotation. So, but to me, Indians are a really good fit. Number 4, another team in that division, the Detroit Tigers. Another young, relatively kind of dynamic and kind of growing lineup. They're not the best lineup, but they have beat some of the stronger teams. So, and they're kind of in that process of gradually letting the young guys come up, Casey Mize, and then you have some of these other guys who are going to be coming up. But they might be minus Matthew Boyd. They might be minus Michael Fulmer and some of these other guys. But guys like Mazzara and some of these young kids now, a guy like Anthony Santander would be a huge upgrade in that lineup and in that outfield. And, again, I keep going back to he gives it a more dynamic touch in that lineup, gives them that versatility, allows them to be more creative. And again, the ability to play all over the field makes him a valuable asset. And they also have the pieces to give up for him. All these teams that I've mentioned have the pieces to give up for a guy like this. Plus, you'd be taking him away from the White Sox. You'd be taking him away from other teams like the Indians. So, in my opinion, if the Tigers want to make their mark and kind of get to that next level, bringing in guys like this would be a really helpful thing to do for them. So they're the number 4 team. And last but not least, I have a 5th team here. It's the Miami Marlins. Yeah, the Marlins. An under-the-radar team who are in sore need of kind of more positional depth, particularly on the outfield side. And, if they lose Marte, he can replace Marte. But he's going to give that lineup, again, more dynamic options. Switch hitter, he's under team control, which kind of fits under their don't spend a lot philosophy of Derek Jeter. And, again, he's an upgrade over what they have now. Gives them the ability to kind of be creative, and helps keep the payroll low. And he can also help mentor some of these younger guys as well. He's a veteran at 26, but he still has some growing to do as well. But he's another good fit. Going from the American League to the National League, I think seeing some different competition, and the Marlins taking him away. The Phillies need a center fielder. Okay, and some of these other teams in NL East need another option in the outfield. And the Marlins coming in, making a move like this, they would be kind of doing the same thing as the Tigers. They would say, okay, we want to compete here. We're serious about it. And the Marlins have been quiet about it, and they've been okay this year. Even though they made the playoffs last year, but it was a 60-game season. I encourage people to not assume they were going to make the playoffs this year. But they need a couple of guys like this if they want to compete in the National League East. Period. End of story. So those are my 5 teams. Let me know what you think. Give me your insight and your feedback in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. My next video, we're going to talk about Matthew Boyd, a starting pitcher who's probably going to be available at the deadline. So talk to you then.